Welcome back to Cheers. Today we're going to review Sam Adams Sweater Weather Pack. Summer's beginning to wind down, and it's time for some fall beers.
Yes.
Both Oktoberfest beers and pumpkin beers are coming out in force, so we decided to kick off our fall beer series with the Sam Adams Sweater Weather. It comes with 4 beers. They, of course, like to include their regular Boston Lager and everything. And then we have a festbier from them, which is very common among Oktoberfest varieties. People like to bring out festbiers. And we have their Oktoberfest beer. And then we have the Jack O, which is their pumpkin ale. So that'll be our first pumpkin ale of the season. I'm super excited to get to it.
Me too. I love lagers.
Well, you hate them. This is going to be the best thing you've ever reviewed. I know it. So first up, we're going to do Sam Adams Boston Lager. I think we did this once before when we did their summer beer pack.
Was that in there?
I'm trying to remember. I know they like to include it in a lot of their variety packs.
I'm so excited. Oh, it's pretty dark actually.
Sam Adams Boston Lager. Shout out Marvin. This was one beer he got into for a hot minute. This is all he would order.
Oh, I'm drinking it.
On the nose. Smells like a lager.
It smells like a lager, but it smells like a better lager than other lagers.
Well, it's malty.
I mean, it smells like a little bit of a
Nice and dark.
Bud Light, but
No, and I don't think it smells that far. But just so everyone's reminded, Sam Adams is still an independent beer company, though they are like more widely distributed. It is still not a macro beer like your Bud Light. That's why they have the label. You can't have that label on there if you're big time. Well, I think it's time we dive in. Oh yeah.
this is a better lager than other lagers that you've had me try. Even like green cheek lagers and stuff like that, that sounds crazy to me. That sounds.
You're a Sam Adams fan.
I guess.
Wow. This is surprising.
Obviously, I wouldn't pick this, but if it was either between this and like a Pilsner or another lager, I would pick this over that.
Yeah, it's got some really nice malty notes in there. It's got just more depth to the flavor overall than a lot of lagers that we've had in the past.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a little more soapy. It tastes like dish soap a little bit.
You and your flavors.
I like it.
I would say it's a little less on the yeasty breadiness and more on the almost like a sweetness and maltiness side of things, and that's probably why you like it more.
Yeah, a little dish soapy.
Yeah, sure.
No wheat.
That being said, what would you rate this beer out of 5?
It's a 3.75.
Oh wow, so almost an A.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I can see why someone would get into it for a while because it's super easy to drink. It's refreshing. It's probably only like, what, 4%?
This is a 5% alcohol beer, 30 IBUs.
This is super easy to drink. It's a lawnmower beer.
Yeah, and this says best before December, so we're way before that at this point. On the back here it says 4 ingredients painstakingly chosen. Every year we travel to Bavaria to hand select Hallertau Mitterfrüh hops and the high American plains for the finest 2-row summer barley. We cultivate our own lager yeast and I personally sample every batch. All our hard work goes into brewing this distinctly flavorful and complex beer for you. Cheers. And yeah, I would say it's decent. It's has a lot more flavor than you're going to get in your macro lagers. Mm-hmm. I've been told a lot of times this is a good first beer for a lot of people if they're trying to get away from macro lagers like your Budweiser, etc. So yeah, if you haven't tried Sam Adams and you like lagers and you're looking to try something new, this is it. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3.5. It's decent. I'm gonna drink these again.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think it's time we get more into the fall beers. So we're gonna cut and then come right back with festbier. So up next we have Sam Adams festbier. It is a smooth lager. This is 5.8% alcohol, so kicking it up a little bit there. It says the fest in festbier means the barley and hops have been gathered and our growers have their first moment to celebrate another successful harvest. What do they reach for? Festbier, a little more malty, a little more hoppy, brewed to relax and enjoy. Got a blue label. Not much else to talk about there. So let's get to drinking.
So this is just another lager.
It's a festbier.
Same thing.
Do you remember we had the festbier at Green Cheek? I think we reviewed it on the channel.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's up yet, but
So clear. Looks like water. That's what water is.
well, you just had a lager that you liked, so let's not get too judgy yet.
I'm very judgy. That's the whole point of this channel. Judge things.
I thought it was to drink beer with friends.
You know how when you go away for the weekend and
Here we go again. Oh my god.
a little bit.
It's a little sweeter on the nose to me than the Boston Lager was.
I can see that, I guess.
A little less malty on the nose for me, a lot sweeter. And I would say is it about the same color?
No.
A little lighter?
Yeah, it's probably just the same beer.
There's only one way to find out.
Okay.
Not the same beer. Not at all. Wow. There's almost like a fruity note in there. Like a pear or an apple.
What do pears and apples taste like for you? Wheat?
See, I don't get very much wheatiness at all from that.
You are joking me.
I'm not. I get like a pear note or an apple note. There's almost like a little bit of a little bit of that, yeah, like a fruity note in there for sure. It's a lot sweeter than the Boston Lager was. You do get a little bit of hoppy notes. For me, the Boston Lager was actually a little hoppier.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, why?
This doesn't taste like anything you just said.
Oh, what are you getting?
Wheat.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you got a different beer.
At the end, it is pretty malty, but no fruits or anything. I don't get any of that.
I like what I have in my glass.
It's not bad. It's not gross. It's just not a beer. I'm not gonna waste my time or my taste buds on this beer. My brain cells.
So you don't like it as much as the Boston Lager?
No.
Wow. So what does that mean for your rating?
It's gonna be less.
Which would be
3.
a 3? Wow, I like this more. I'm gonna give it a 3.75.
Yeah, it's not doing much for me. It's just a lager. It's just a beer.
I think it tastes great. If this is something they offered, I would get this probably over the Boston Lager at this point.
No, you're wrong. Next.
Teach their own. But yeah, that's about all we have to say about this one. It's time to move on to Oktoberfest. Alright, the Oktoberfest is hearty and smooth according to this, 5.3% alcohol. On the back it says, malt brings so much to a great beer. That's why we developed a unique malt blend to provide a robust color and smooth, rich flavor. Like you, we look forward to this tradition every year. Yeah, so I guess it's just a different malt and hop blend in their fest beer. Orange label, dark orange makes you think October, but also makes you think pumpkin, which is why I got confused by these for a second.
Oktoberfest is in September in Germany.
Why do they call it Oktoberfest? Is that a US thing?
Like the last 2 weeks of September, the first week of October.
Oh, like you're getting ready for October. Well, that looks way friggin' darker than the other two.
That's what Human Sarah told me anyway.
Wow, a lot darker. Almost like an amber color.
Yeah, this looks like a red or an amber.
I think they're different beers.
I don't think that's true.
You know what? I know how we can figure this out. Let's consult the beer flow chart.
Oh no.
So friends, here we have the beer flow chart. In the middle we have beer. We have all the different types of beer around here. This beer is a lager.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dark colored, which means it's either Vienna or a Marzen. And based on this, I'm going to go with Marzen because underneath here it says something something Oktoberfest Marzen. And then under the Marzen category, it says that they were brought out late in the summer and served at Oktoberfest. And then if we go up to where reds and ambers are, they are ales under the Belgian category. Different because amber, red, they're across from each other, but they're not the same.
This is Flemish red, though. I don't subscribe to Flems.
Well, you're gonna have to.
No.
Because that's the red.
They're on the same little tier, so it's pretty much the same thing.
Right, but it's like when you look at, the genetic tree.
What genetic tree?
For
who's?
Like primates.
Ambers and reds are the same thing. They taste the same. They're the same.
Let us know in the comments below. Are ambers and reds the same or are they different?
Same.
You decide.
Brett?
Thoughts?
This tastes like a Stella.
What would you say about the flavor? It's got like a sweetness to it.
Tastes like a Stella. Hold on, let me see again.
Yeah, definite sweetness, a little bit of maltiness. Not a lot of hoppiness in this beer compared to the other two.
I think when you... My taste buds are not as refined as yours, because I understand when you say sweet, it's not going to be like candy sweet. There's no way, because it's still a beer. But I don't get sweetness from this at all. There's a little bit of a lighter taste than some lagers.
This is feels like a lighter beer. I'm going to agree with you on that. It's a little waterier, I would say, than the other two.
Yeah. I just wouldn't know the difference between an Oktoberfest beer, a fest beer, and just a normal Boston lager.
Well, that's what we're doing right now.
They all just taste the same. Like, not that they don't taste the same to me. They all taste like different lagers, but there's no because when you say, oh, an Oktoberfest beer, that's like an actual kind of beer.
Right, which we're drinking right now.
Beer is like an actual kind of beer.
Right.
They're all lagers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to pick up on the differences here. I mean, they are kind of subtle, but there are definitely differences between the three, in my opinion.
They do taste different. It's just, I would just say they're all just different lagers, but they're all lagers. Like obviously, a Sam Adams lager isn't going to taste the same as a Green Cheek lager,
right?
Or any other kind of lager. But they're all lagers. They all just taste like a lager.
Well, you're not wrong. Most of them fall under the lager category. You see, this Oktoberfest beer we're having is a Marzen, and Sam Adams is actually one of the ones listed here under the Vienna style.
What is the description under the Vienna style?
This lager was named after the city from which it originated, Vienna. It is brewed using a 3-step decoction boiling process. Vienna is made with Munich Pilsner, Vienna toasted, and dextrin malts, and occasionally wheat.
Did you say Vienna sausages are in there? I don't know. I just think lagers are so simple, and that's why they taste simple, which is good sometimes. I get it. It's just they're so it even says on the bottle 4 ingredients. It's nothing. It's just 4 ingredients.
Right, but they still give it some flavor.
It's good, yeah. I mean, like I said, I like that Boston lager. These other ones I don't like as much, but they're just all lagers.
So what are you going to rate the Oktoberfest out of 5?
I don't know. I give it a 3 also.
All right. I would say for me it's about a 3.25. Not as good as the other two in my opinion. But yeah, they're all drinkable so far.
Ooh, that tasted like pencils, this last sip.
Is that good? Did you like that?
I guess.
Alright, well you think about that a little more as I get ready for our first pumpkin beer of the season. Last and certainly not least is Jack O, which is the pumpkin ale that comes in this pack. I'm pretty excited for this, although apprehensive. Last year, Rafa and I reviewed quite a few pumpkin beers, trying to find one that we liked, and we found one, but the rest were all very, very disappointing. We wanted to taste pumpkin, we wanted to taste like maybe pumpkin pie flavor stuff, you know, that's in there, like your ginger or your allspice or cinnamon or all those things that you put in a pumpkin pie. Am I wrong? Cloves, nutmeg, all those kind of things. Hopefully this gives us a little something to talk about here. This is 4.4% alcohol, so less than all the other three. It is a pumpkin ale, as I said before. Perfect fall beer. Jacko's cinnamon and nutmeg aromas recall memories of freshly baked pumpkin pie. It has the ideal balance of seasonal spices with crisp, refreshing finish. This pumpkin ale pairs perfectly with the transition of summer into cooler days and nights. It was rough to get through that paragraph, but I'm excited.
Me too.
Hopefully it's not, you know, pumping us up for nothing. And I can't wait for some cooler nights. My gosh, it's been so hot.
Too bad no one has AC, huh?
Well, we do. Well, that's no talking. Let's get to drinking.
Is there pictures of jack-o'-lanterns on front?
Oh yeah. It's spooky season. Almost.
That looks so gross. That does not look like something that is appetizing.
There you go.
Lots of carbonation in here.
Easily the darkest of all the beers that we've had today. Wow. Look at that. That's like a brown yellow color.
I don't know if you should put this in the QV.
Ooh.
It's very pumpkin-y. This reminds me of that one that you guys like from Trader Joe's. It smells like it.
This has a lot of spice flavor. Wow. Spice aromas coming off of it.
Yeah. A lot of cinnamon and nutmeg.
Yeah. I'm going to say nutmeg was the first one that I get. A little bit of cinnamon in there. Maybe some cloves. But yeah, I am hoping that it tastes good.
I think it's just gonna taste like cinnamon and nutmeg and no pumpkin.
Don't ruin it for me. No. Pumpkin.
Wait, quick, what does
pie.
pumpkin taste like?
A pumpkin pie. Yes. It's a little watery. And it's subtle, but there is definitely pumpkin pie flavor. You get the pumpkin, and you get the cinnamon and the nutmeg, and then you get a little bit of that, a little bit of crusty.
A little bit of crusties in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is tasty. I'm not a huge pumpkin pie fan. Or, I like pumpkin bread, I think. But yeah, there's a lot of spicy flavors. Not like hot spicy, but just like spices in here. I don't know if I'm getting pumpkin, because like I just said, I don't eat a lot of pumpkin stuff. But I'm sure there's another flavor that I can't put my finger on, and I'm sure that's what it is.
It's pumpkin.
Yeah.
Like I said, not as forward as I would want it to be. This is also easily the sweetest of the four beers that we've tried today. And also my favorite of the four we've tried today.
Same.
This is gonna get a 4.25 from me. I do want more pumpkin from it. But I really like what I found here. If they sold this in a 6-pack, I would get this again.
I would too. I really like it also. I would give it a 4.
Okay.
This isn't something that, I mean, I don't like to drink a lot of beer with food, but this is something that you don't want to drink with food because it has so much of its own flavor.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good dessert beer, I think, or maybe just like hanging out with friends around the fire in the fall season.
Or if you're having a relaxed Halloween party or get together and you want something with a little flavor, a little festive flavor, that's going to definitely do it. I am going to try and rank these with how we liked them. How do you feel about this? We've got Jacko first, Boston Lager second, Festbier third, Oktoberfest last.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what all our ratings were, but I think this is gonna, if we did the average, this is generally how it would come out.
Yeah, I think I rated the Festbier and Oktoberfest the same, so whatever.
And I liked the Oktoberfest more than the Festbier, so these two might be switched.
But yeah, I mean, this was a good little pack. I don't think that it really reminds me much of, these three don't really remind me much of like the fall flavors and sweater weather, because someone keeps telling me that lagers are summer beers, and then all of a sudden they just put a bunch of lagers in a sweater weather pack. So I'm very confused.
Well, because of Oktoberfest coming up.
The pumpkin beer is perfect for fall.
Yes.
I love it.
I agree.
But yeah, this is a good pack. I probably wouldn't buy it for myself, but since you're here, I would buy it again, but there's so many other beers that we could have.
I don't think I would buy this pack again. If I could find the Jack O by itself, that is definitely something that I would get. Mm-hmm. And like we talked about, bring to a gathering just to have people try it. Mm-hmm. It's very subtle, so it's not too off-putting for anyone who maybe doesn't like pumpkin or doesn't want a punch-you-in-the-face flavor like that. But very good. Good on you, Sam Adams. We're not quite done yet. As you've all no doubt noticed, I have been QVing the beers as we've gone along here. And here we are. It's mostly dark, thanks to the Jack O in the Oktoberfest.
Yeah, that Jack O just made it super dark. It probably smells
like a lager. No, it smells kind of malty, like the Boston Lager or the festbier a little bit. Yeah, surprised I'm not getting any pumpkin on there. But here we go. Nope, don't do that. It's not that it's gonna make me hurl or anything. It's just not great. Like, I'd rather have the beers separately by themselves.
Let me see.
Oh no. Rest in peace, Mary.
This is too strong.
2022.
Oh yeah, it just smells like lager. I was really thinking that there was gonna be pumpkin and spices. But...
I thought it would be strong enough, but it's not. Yeah, see? I'd rather just have them individually.
You don't need to. Yeah. It just tastes like a lager. And that's what 3 of the 4 just taste like, so you don't need to waste them QVing them.
But, you know, we did it for you, the fans.
We did it for our friends.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's beer review. It is that time of the year, so if you have any pumpkin beers or Oktoberfest beers or fest beers, anything festive in the fall season that you want us to try, let us know down in the comments below. This is just the first of many more to come. In my search for the perfect pumpkin beer, we're going to bring Rafa back. Mary's going to be back. We're going to try and find a good pumpkin ale. Or stout. Or lager. Sour? Okay. We'll see what the fall has to offer. But until then, we're the Rimertures, trying every beer from around the world. One sip at a time. Oh my god.
You know what, friends? Don't judge anybody. You don't know what level of education they have. For instance, Rick here never went past the 5th grade.
Jeez. You see, friends, here we have the beer flow chart. Here's beer in the middle. And Oktoberfest beers are what? Ales? Lagers?
They're lagers.
So we've gone down to lager. Pale? No.
Wait, are they lagers?
No, they're wheats, right? Are we all wrong? What are we doing here? We don't know beer.